in making sure that they get to the senior citizens who can't drive, who can't come out, to go take those shots to those villages where the senior citizens are living. So, Miss Kathy Henry, we say kudos and thank you so much, dear, for doing an excellent job. Okay, the phone number here is 813-251-9867. Now, I don't know if Michael Randolph is on the line yet, but we're going to be talking to him. And Fred, this actually going to tie in together because Michael is going to... Is Michael there? Good morning. Is Michael Randolph there? Okay, you can put it through. Good morning, Michael.
How you doing, Victor?
We blessed. Okay, let me bring you in. What he's going to talk about, Fred, is what's been all the shooting and the killings, that black on black, and then here you are about our black history. So things are going to turn it together. So we're gonna go ahead, Michael. Good morning and welcome.
So thank you, Bishop, for giving me an opportunity to share with the community the crisis that everybody is frustrated about. And that crisis is black on black killing and black on black violence. We're given a show to talk about what are the strategies being used around the country to end the sense of violence. Now, when I initially came on this show, I was going to talk about violence in general, but this past Wednesday, they shot at my house. So when I say violence is serious, it is serious.
And you live over in the Roberts Park? Sir, you live in the Roberts Park area?
Yes, they shot at my house.
Now, were they after you, or they were just shooting randomly?
No person.
They just shooting up the place.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Most people that get a straight shot are innocent.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the concern I have. So that's just God telling me that it's even more important. Now, what's going to happen is that we're going to have people from around the United States talking about what works. What I didn't know is that now we got people from Nigeria as well as China that want to be part of how do we stop the killing. Now, our strategy is simple. We have to look at an approach that includes bringing the streets into this conversation. Now, what I see a lot of times when you're dealing with violence in the neighborhood, a person is killed, you have the police department, politicians, and other people coming to the meeting. But what's not there is those people that's doing the killing. So we're bringing those people that's doing the killing to the meeting on Sunday to talk about why do they feel they're left out and what can they do in order to stop the violence in our city. This is going to be an approach at three prongs. First, we're going to do a psychosocial approach. That is, we want to go from the mindset of the hood to the mindset of the village. We need to change attitudes. The second part of the strategy deals with economic development from a socio-economic perspective. How do you get people off the street into jobs? And then the third part deals with how do we deal with the health issue in our community. Now, what is incredible about this strategy is that we employ what's known as the hip-hop approach that attracts, educates, turns residents into game changers. What's interesting about this business is that we are actually talking to the so-called thugs that's on the street. They've always wanted an opportunity to have a forum to share that thought, but that has not been the case. So actually, we call this street-on-street conversation with people in the streets to talk about street solutions to the problem.
And you know that I love that street on street because those are people that's out there and those are the ones that's committing the crime. Now you saying Sunday, you're talking about tomorrow Sunday, correct? Super Bowl Sunday.
Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
Okay, and this is going to be on Zoom?
This is going to be on Zoom. As a matter of fact, they can go to your page and click on the meeting to get a link to the meeting that's on your page.
Oh, okay. I certainly appreciate that. So tomorrow at 7:30, there, and that's about the time of the halftime. Super Bowl
starting.
Oh, it'll be just starting. Mm-hmm. Okay, people, we got to be dual things on tomorrow. But this is so crucial that tomorrow. Now, is this won't be the first? I mean, it will be the first, but it won't be the last. Correct?
Well, this is the purpose of tomorrow's meeting is to bring together the nation under one accord.
Okay.
We hope after tomorrow meeting you will have 15 states They're going to work collectively together to end the violence. Tomorrow this shows what are they doing from around the country, and then we're going to talk about a 15-state collaborative that goes forward from here. But what's most important, Tampa is going to be highlighted around the nation tomorrow and spotlighted as to what we're doing.
Let me ask you this. Now, I understood, did someone get hit on Wednesday, killed, anything?
Yeah, guy got, he got shot in the head and shot in the chest, and he's not expected to make it.
Oh my God! So he's still, he's on life support, and they looking to pull him out. Oh my God! And when will the killing stop? And I don't do y'all have, since you are in Robles, you live in Robles, and I know you hear what's going on. Is there any, and I'm hearing this a lot of young people who are not looking for jobs, don't want a job, so the economic component won't help them. What are they saying? Why are they killing one another?
Well, they're killing each other because of street code. And according to street code, if someone questions your manhood in the street, you have to resolve that.
By killing them.
Streets, I'm talking about all 4 streets. If you don't resolve it, you consider it as weakness, and people will pick on you.
But you know,
the only people that live to the street code.
But you know what? A person who settled their differences with a gun, Fred, is a coward, as far as I'm concerned. Because if I'm ready to, back in the day, Fred, we gonna talk about us. You fought. You did. You threw up your dukes. You had to fight. Whoever won, they won, and you go on about your business. You live to see another day. So if I'm coming to you, I'm a man or a woman, however you want to put it, and we finna have a beat down. You got to bring 10, 12 of your homeboys to jump on one me, but then you also put a gun. So how does that make you this big man with a gun? I'm not getting it. And that's why we have Fred here to talk about, we're going to tell you, see what I'm saying? The history, black children, these kids have no clue as to what's going on and why and what they're doing. We're talking about gentrification. Hey, they wiping themselves out. The white man don't have to kill us. They don't have to do anything else. We doing it to ourselves. We have a caller. And Michael, so you stay on. We're going to have a caller. We're going to have Fred come in with something. And we're going to try to get to the bottom of what's going on. Good morning, caller. You say what's really happening.
Yes, I'm so glad that y'all on this subject. After reading the Florida Sentinel Friday and the last killers over there in Columbus Court.
Wow. Go ahead.
Parents, a lot of people have, you can hear about Bates Powder killer and everything. Nobody's coming forward. Well, we need justice from the Capitol. What happened there? We need the emergency a meeting among our black officials to pressure the mayor and everybody to put up some anonymous money, to big money that somebody will come forward.
Caller, you right
on all these killings.
Yes, sir. Caller, you right on
point. This is very serious. That is happening in our neighborhood. We need justice for that happening to the Capitol.
Yes.
In the Capitol and in our neighborhood. Because from the streets you hear people talking, they know the boy that shot the boy, all over these neighborhoods. But if you put up the right money, somebody's gonna come forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you so.
And the mayor and everybody we need to get this killing out of our neighborhood. And I guarantee you that we won't go get a job when they see everybody else getting locked up and justice being served.
Yes.
Because I don't care if it was my brother, whoever you done wrong, you got to pay a price.
That's right. You're a murderer. Call him.
You gonna kill somebody. You're a murderer in our neighborhood, and it's continues to continue with these children guns. But we got to also, what I said about our black leaders need to come together. Because if you look at the video games, they used to have soldiers shooting each other. But right now they got little rap boys. They got the Spanish boys with guns, the black boys, the little rap boys in the neighborhood shooting each other. All these neck cut games and all this and stuff, and the trap rap. You got to go after these big companies, get the mayor and the pressure these governments and everybody that can do it. And this needs to be nationwide, because it ain't just happening in our neighborhood. It's a setup for all our black communities.
Caller, you said, and I've been pushing from these airways that.
And we couldn't have another children. Not East Tampa, West Tampa, North Tampa, nothing else.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and I've been pushing from these airways that we get the reward go higher. When I looked and seen that they offering $20,000 for it for somebody who had written on what was that the member out in the water had put
The
Trump
manatee.
name, the manatee. Somebody had wrote Trump name on the manatee, carved Trump name into the manatee. They started off with $5,000, then they gone up to
Some of
$20,000.
our rich white folks, if you think it's just in our hood, if they keep killing, it's gonna wind up in your hood.
That's right.
Oh, and as history done told us, it never a problem until it goes into their neighborhood.
All right, thank you so much for that. And our black lives should be worth more. And they say up to 5,000. These kids, they run around here 20,000. Hey, they have bricks. They have bricks. So telling on their friends for $2,000 or $3,000 isn't the answer. But yeah, we shouldn't even have to put up any money. But we know money make folks talk, and especially if they don't have any. And this will have more because when our son was murdered, that's what got his killer. We put up that reward, and I did have he's dead now, a white man that called me and said, let's raise the ante. He said, I don't want anybody to know that I'm behind this reward, but I want to put some money in the pot. And we rose up the ante, and trust me, the tongues with the wagon, and we found Byron Senior killer. And so I do know that work. We're going to take another call, and then we're going to go to Fred, and Michael, stay there. Good morning, caller. You say what's really happening.
Michelle B. Patty.
Good morning, Mr. Joe Robinson.
Yes, ma'am. I can't say that Michael Randolph, a lot of people don't know I'm the vice chair of the West Tampa CDC as well as the chair of the CRA of West Tampa. And Mike is very, very timely. And I don't care if the Super Bowl there, but probably going to win it anyways. But we need to get on that. And I'm going to tell you why. Last night we had a shooting windows out and everything, right at the liquor store, shot a bake camera window, and there's all kind of bullets flying. He thought it was fireworks on Main Street last night.
Wow.
I'm dragging. So, CRA, we have our meeting coming up in 4 weeks. We're going to be talking serious about, okay, we don't have cameras up. Now we finna talk about how we going to get this. We got a liquor store that seems to be an attractive nuisance. This pop-up block party. Mike is on point, been on point, nobody listening, but when it get to your front door, you're going to start listening.
Come on now.
So I'm sitting here telling you that even though you watching that Super Bowl, you might want to have somebody on this call that might put it together. So I'm telling you, it's over here on the west side. It happened last night. That last night by 10-something p.m. last night, scattered. Pop-up block party, gunfire. Go if you don't believe me, go look at Bay Cannon Brewery windows busted out. It's called a gunfire.
Wow.
Okay, so it's live, it's real, and it is everything that Mike is saying. It's about this pride thing, about, standing back. Okay, I don't know if anybody got shot, but I know gunfire broke windows out, and people went to scattered. So the pop just blew up, we started playing the music, everybody just coming, and so what we're going to do is we're looking at attractive nuisances. If this is an attractive nuisance and stuff, this box is liquor store, then it got to go.
It's time to shut it down.
Development, nobody wants to come in and spend millions of dollars putting money in an area, and then we stand around, get it going, got this going, and then here we go. So that's what I want to let everybody know. I've been quiet, but after gunfire last night, it's relevant. So I just want to let everybody know. Work with Mike Consultant at gmail.com, and let's just see what we can get done. And then our CRA, don't know what they're doing on these sides. But the West Tampa CRA is on the damn agenda, excuse my expression, this month. Okay?
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Joe, no, thank you, and thank you all. And this is what it's going to take. And Fred, so I'm going to lead into, because I was disappointed when cold water was thrown on this Black History Brain Bowl, and it was from a former school board member who looked like us, and I couldn't understand it when I'm looking and hearing about the killings and the stuff that's going on. And a lot of kids, you ask some questions about where they came from, they don't know. They think they're welfare babies, food stamp babies. They have no self-esteem. They just think this is the norm, when that is not true. So first of all, I want to say hats off to you, Mr. Fred Hearn, Lynn Gray, Mr. Washington. Now I know that this thing, the Brain Bowl, was 5 years old, and then it went dormant for 2 years. But how did it get resurrected back? Let's start there.
Well, thank you for asking that question. And first of all, we have to give a lot of credit to the black teachers in Hillsborough County.
Yes.
The Hillsborough Alliance of Black School Educators, that acronym is HABSE, H-A-B-S-E. They started the Brain Bowl 7 years ago in Hillsborough County, the Black History Brain Bowl. 2 years ago, they changed leadership and they didn't have a Brain Bowl that year. Last year, we know what happened with COVID. They didn't have one last year. But this year, it's been resurrected. This is the 5th annual. They're calling it the 5th annual Black History Brain Bowl. It's going to be March 6th, which is a Saturday, 10 a.m. until all the questions are answered.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
we're not sure how long it's going to last, but it starts at 10 a.m. You will be able to see it virtually. Of course, everything is virtual. But I do have to say, when you ask how did this get started, it started with HABSE, and then a year ago, I went to a school board meeting, and which I've been doing for the last several years. In February, I find the brightest dashiki I can find in my closet, put it on, go to the school board, and say, Happy Black History Month. And of course, everybody always looks at me like I'm crazy, but that's okay. I want them to know that at least we do have February when we can highlight Black history. Now, I highlight it 12 months a year.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's really what all of us should be doing.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Lynn Gray called me a few days after that meeting. She said, Fred, you're right. I talked about the Black History Brain Bowl with her. She said, if you could help me put together a group of community people, and I'll get some administrators from the school board. She was not chairman of the school board that time.
Correct.
But she said, I'll get some administrators from the district, and together, let's put together a group and work on 3 things that it came out of this group. We've been meeting for a year. The Black History Brain Bowl, supporting HABSE, because the last time they had a Black History Brain Bowl, they only had 9 schools.
9.
And this was just a handful of black teachers, dedicated people working after hours, all volunteers, not getting paid for this, but because they love our children so much, they started this Brain Bowl. Last time they had it 9 children. As of last night, 9 schools. As of last night, there are 49 schools that are participating.
You went from 9 schools to 49
in 1 year.
In 1 year, letting you know that the children want to do this,
Right.
letting you know that the schools want to participate.
Right.
So, and nobody is making this is all they volunteer to be
Correct.
a part of this. Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And because Superintendent Addison Davis has wholeheartedly supported everything that we have proposed through our local task force to make sure that the word got to the principals. And we all know nothing happens on a campus unless the principal is supportive of it.
That's right.
But these principals have supported this because the superintendent said it's important. And because Lynn Gray, who is now chair of the school board, said it's important. The sponsorship, they had 1 sponsor 2 years ago. 1. This year, the amount of sponsors has increased, and we're still asking for people to call in and volunteer and to sponsor the Brain Bowl.
How can people get in touch, Fred?
Okay.
You have a number?
I have a phone number, and that's 813-586-0005. Area code 813-586-0005. And that's the number for HABSE. They're looking for volunteers, and they're still looking for sponsors.
And the folks, the sponsor, why they were asking for sponsor, because whoever wins, they're actually going to receive monies, green money, real money. So the children will be receiving monies, the winners, and I see y'all have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place winners.
Correct.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Fred, we're going to go to the phone line, see who's there. Good morning, caller. You say what's really happening. Go ahead, caller. You have to turn your radio down.
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, Otis. I've been looking for your number. God, thank you. You're still here. Happy New Year. Good morning.
Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I've been going through it a little bit. I'm all right. But a couple things, and it's my opinion. First thing about this black on black killing and what have you. I don't know if you remember, in 1986, we had back to the same thing when that crack epidemic was on the rise. In 1986,
Beirut, Lebanon was the #1 most dangerous place in the world to live. Bradenton Roger Project was #2. They got rid of all those killers, prosecutors, and if you remember when Bill Clinton was in office, that was part of the thing they ran on, getting rid of, cleaning up this neighborhood, our neighborhoods, and getting all that stuff out of it, and then they turned around and turned coat on them and gave them hell about it, which was wrong. Same thing, that my opinion, again, the NFL, when Colin Kaepernick was protesting about what's happening in our community to us, they blackballed him. Everybody was in an uproar. Oh, I ain't doing NFL. Next year, everybody right back on board again, and ain't nothing changed. It's the same thing. And I stand, God say forgive. But I think we're a little bit, as black people, a little bit too forgiving. Because people spit on us and do whatever, and we forgive them and turn right back around and they do the same thing again. We got to do like everybody else, stick together and stick to our gun. When we say we're not going to do something, don't do it.
Otis, I can't, is it, are you in the rain?
Yeah, I'm in the crane.
Oh, okay. You at work. Oh, because I hear some noise. But Otis, you right on point as always, and we say thank you for that. And if we can get us to stick together, that's why it's important for us to know our history. Then maybe we won't be killing one another. All right, Otis, because we're getting a lot of noise feedback. Thank you so much for that.
And like
call.
you say, we forgiving of everybody else but ourselves.
We don't forgive each other. Oh no, we hate one another.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fred, I'm trying to figure out what you hate me for. What did I do to you?
Exactly.
Why you got this here animosity? And I'm looking at people that's in leadership position that follow that same spirit down low. And it's unfortunate here in Tampa, and yeah, I'm pretty sure elsewhere too. But here in Tampa, it's not a lot of us that's out here really beating the drums and trying to make a difference. And then you being attacked daily. I ask myself every time I come in here, is it worth it? Mm-hmm. Should I keep coming? Why bother? Are we getting anywhere? Are people really waking up? What's really happening? Which is the name of this show. And it's sometimes it's disheartening and it's mind-boggling when you have elected officials who take the attitude of I'm the queen and the king on the mountain, and you people are nobody, and everybody got to come through me. Instead of saying, I represent you guys, I need to know what y'all think. I need to have a meeting to hear what you think we should do. And I just don't know. Is it a sign of the time? We got people that's too young. I know I'm throwing a lot out, but I'm full this morning. That's getting in these offices, and they appear to just want to be on pictures and taking photo ops. They don't want to really get down and do the work. So Fred, go ahead. And Michael, but Michael's still there. Michael, you been hearing anything else you want to add over there, Michael?
I do want to add something real quick.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's based on the science and the evidence that if you want to deal with this problem, dealing with us killing us, it's not going to work if you think you're going to scare them by saying we're going to send them to jail. That does not work. The only strategy that works in the street is the street strategy. That's why we bring together all the OGs, all the gangsters, all the dope boys, all the people that's really committing the destruction on our community to the table to put together a strategy that was created by the street, for the street, and controlled by the street. That's how we stop the killers. We have to get the street to buy in.
You're absolutely so, Michael. You putting this link out all through Facebook, Twitter. Do y'all have a way for people to? Cause the young people, they're not on Facebook. They on Snap with the Snapchat, the Twitter. They got all kind of stuff. You're right. So y'all, okay, cause those are the folks we need to reach. And we know we just had a march, which Jay participated in. But we got to bring everybody together. But we must have our elected officials, and I'm talking about the mayor now, and the city council and the county commissioners on board to make an impact on what's going on. So Michael, just stay right there. I don't know, the number here is 813-251-9867, and I'm glad to know that we do have some interest going on this morning about what's what, and we thank Joe. And then we gonna Jay got something, then we going back over here to Fred to talk about this brain bowl.
Let's bite to the brain bowl, Mr. Hearn. from doing the Brain Bowl, what do you expect to reach the people in the community? What should they get out of this Brain Bowl? Why should they participate? And what value it's going to bring to their lives?
All right,
Well-
that's a good question, Jay.
Well, to sum it up in just a few words, as Malcolm X would have said, a knowledge of self. You know, we come from kings and queens, from a royal lineage. And one of the things that I said, one of our very first task force meetings, we meet on Zoom every month. The superintendent has been on those calls. Terry Connor, one of the deputy superintendents. Lynn Gray is on every call. I'm there. We have people from the community as well as many school district administrators. And one of the things I've said is it's not enough to teach African American history, even though we need to do a lot more of that. But African American history, Bishop, starts at slavery.
Come on now.
It doesn't go all the way back thousands of years when we lived like
That's the
kings
problem.
and queens because we were kings and queens.
Yes.
And we knew how to treat each other. We don't know that history. We're not taught that history. Intentionally, we're not taught it. So the school district has made a lot of changes, and people are going to really see it in August, I think, when school starts again. 3 things that they've done. Supported this Black History Brain Bowl and supported Black teachers who are members of HAPSI. And the money goes back, as you said, to the students who participate, high school and middle school students. Next year, I understand they're going to add elementary school students.
That's where we need to go.
The other thing that is brand new that a lot of folk haven't heard about, I'm announcing it here probably for the first time for a lot of people. So this is news. This is what's really happening.
Yes, sir.
There will be a Thurgood Marshall History Club, hopefully in every public school in Hillsborough County.
Wow.
Now, the
wow.
superintendent has sent out a
Wait a
message.
minute. Slow it down, Fred.
Every school.
Repeat that. And you was one of the leaders that led getting the change of the school name out there. And the Men of Vision, they're out there right now giving out foods to people needy in the community. So the school name is doing, they're doing a lot to uphold that school. So please tell people again about the club. And I hear the superintendent was right behind this being done.
Absolutely. It was actually Terry Connor's recommendation that we have a club where students, not just Black students, because everybody needs to know Black
everyone,
history.
yes.
Because Black history is really American history.
History. That's right.
And so we have the Thurgood Marshall History Club, and what the superintendent has done, he sent out a message to all the principals in the county, encouraging them, find a sponsor on your campus and get students involved in the Thurgood Marshall History Club. We had dinner last night with my kids, and my grandson, I asked him, he's at Brandon. He's at Brandon High School. And I asked him, have you heard anything yet about the Thurgood Marshall History Club? He said, yeah, they announce it on the intercom all the time. I just wanted to find out if it's
they're
really
being done.
happening.
Now, Dr. Klein, he's the new principal at Brandon,
Yes.
and he's doing a great job because they had been trying to get a chapter of Men of Vision out there for years and couldn't. The principal, for whatever reason, did not allow it. But Dr. Klein just got there and he opened the doors. He's welcoming, and as a matter of fact, he and I are going to be meeting, trying to see what we can do to help, bring more and more kids involved, because the kids are just. They don't care. They're not involved. They got the attitude, I really don't care. That's not going to give me. They just want to be doing this crazy stuff. And they, like you say, they think they're men and women because they have a big gun shooting and killing each other. But they can't tell you who. They can't even tell you what about a cotton gin. Cotton gin, what you talking about?
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff. But there's a lot of history right now. We don't even have to go way back to there that they're missing out on. You understand? So that's why I'm just so happy and proud that you all are doing this, promoting this, pushing this, and we the community, we got to get behind things. We can't wait for trouble to come on our door. Now we want to get involved.
And perhaps the most important thing that this Hillsborough County African American History Task Force is doing, looking at changing the curriculum. Because the Black History Rainbow is one event on one day. We understand that. Students may or may not decide to join the Thurgood Marshall History Club, but everybody has to go to class.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about social studies or world history. We're talking about biology and mathematics. Every subject, you can't name a subject that Black people have not made an impact on. You can't do
You talking
that.
about the hard surgery? Come
So
on now. Okay.
there are changes that are being planned right now in the Hillsborough County School District to change the curriculum and adding a lot of supplemental material. They can't do too much about the textbooks that they already have because the textbooks come out like every couple of years. But they are going to be ordering textbooks that are appropriate.
Right.
I went through some of the old textbooks in the school district last year, and we saw black people out in the field picking cotton while the master and his mistress stood over them and looked out. And we saw all kinds of disturbing images. And I brought it to some people's attention. I said, is this preparing students for life? Because that's what the school district says it does. That's the slogan, preparing students for life. The superintendent got right on it.
And you know, I interviewed him. We here at What's Really Happening on last week, and Miss Kimberlyn Jackson called in with that question, and he said no, they were going to be implementing, Black history. But I want to take a moment right now to thank the newly elected school board members, the old ones, those that has really gone out there. They, for the month of, they've already hit the ground running. We talked Shake Washington, Nautica Cone, Jessica Ball, Lynn Gray, but they have stepped it up. I don't know where they got the energy, but these folks are going to like 3, 4, 5 schools in one day. They're reading Black history books to the children. They're being involved in them. So we want to just say hats off to this school board. This board seems like they're going to work together. They're going to gel together. They want to do some things together. Unfortunately, 2 things is a problem: COVID and money. But so we got to see how they're going to, work it. But they are on board, and we say thank you to every one of the school board members that are involved and doing a great job.
I also want to encourage people to go to the school district website.
Yes.
Hillsborough County Public Schools. Look at the department section and open up what they have listed under African American history. It is phenomenal. It is so much better than what was there last year.
Wow.
There's no comparison.
Even in a pandemic, we're still doing some things and making some great
Correct.
strides.
Correct.
People have not just sat down and just say, oh, well, we're going to wait till whenever this passed. We see and need and know the understanding that we got to keep pushing forward, even in times like these.
Correct.
And y'all, we have a lot of retired educators out there who maybe want to get involved. Once again, give out a phone number. How can they get involved? How can they be a part of it? We have young people that won't have time on their hand, and they want to get involved. So let's encourage that.
Right. Again, I want to give out the number. And Keisha Parham is the president of HAPSI for Hillsborough County. Keisha Parham has done an unbelievable job. Every step of the way she's been there working. And, when we talked last year, I said, Keisha, the one thing that I want to do is everything I can to make sure that you've got sponsors, you've got more principals supporting the Brain Bowl. The Urban League of Hillsborough County, Stan Gray, they stepped up to the plate. They are the title sponsor this year.
Oh, wow.
For the Black History Brain Bowl.
Congratulations.
Yes, to the Hillsborough County, Urban League of Hillsborough County.
And they're just getting back into the groove.
Right.
Establishing themselves.
Right.
So we glad to know. Now, we also have another older establishment here have the NAACP. Are they participating in this?
Keisha would know other folk who've stepped up to the plate because all the contact is going to her.
So we're going to say the organization, if you have not got involved, it's still time to get involved.
Right.
Don't worry about that you didn't start this. Let's stop worrying about who started it, who's at the top. Let's just get involved and be among the numbers. When I go to heaven, I just want to be in the number. I don't care what number, just the number.
Get in.
Yeah, get in there. Come on now, just get in the gate.
And that phone number again is 813-586-0005.
And Michael, is there a phone number that people can reach you about for tomorrow? Is there a number anybody can reach out to you? How can people get in touch with you, Michael?
Of course, my number is 813-857-7657.
Okay, I have
I want to add that the model that we're using is the West Tampa CDC model.
Okay.
The model is based on a more television equality, unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. This is the key to changing Black communities.
But the main words you said what is it? Unity.
Mm-hmm.
Unity. When black folks will learn that we need each other, no matter what your status is, that if we can just come together on one accord, the changes that we can make right here in this city. I can't go deal with Atlanta and all these Detroit. I'm talking about the city of Tampa that I was born and raised in. The things that we can do. Michael, were you aware of the shooting in West Tampa last night? Did you know about that?
No, I just heard from Joe this night.
See, so you.
That's shocking. But Bishop, guess who's gonna be funding this?
Go ahead, tell us.
The hip hop community, the rappers, the gangster rappers, they buying into this concept that the streets need to solve the streets. So a lot of our funding is gonna come like Kodak Black, 50 Cent, those hardcore rappers that's been looking for solutions in their community, and now they've led on to us. Just by us saying street on street, we got that type of clap now with the major people who got money to fund this, and that's gonna be hip hop.
Wow.
Honestly, while they might tweak that killing, that's part of that entertainment. They really want to stop the killing as well.
But you know what? And I'm glad you said that, because that's where a lot of this came from. We talking about fake news. All these rappers making it rain and they doing this, that's just for the sale. But our children don't realize that it's fake. And so I'm glad that they see, but rather than just put money, they need to clean up the act. They need to stop wanting to kill each other. The one thing Trump did do, he pardoned a rapper. I don't know the guy's name, but they had got him on, what is that?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne on gun charge, all that. They make it to the top. They're making all this money, and then they still running around in the street with all these guns and this and that. Folks, we got to stop it and let these young people whose minds have not developed understand this was just for me to make some money off you guys. This is not real. And yeah, they
can't separate entertainment from reality.
Correct. Don't know that your friend, and they think it's nice, Fred. I stop even going to these funerals unless I just have to. They all come out with the t-shirts on, and they have the person picture on there, and all this, and they weeping and moaning, and then by nightfall, it's all over again. They back to somebody else's funeral. So these are the things I'm glad Michael involved, and I'm glad with the Black Rainbow that you all are reenacting. We got to get involved with our children, our community. And Fred, I hate to say it, but we got some age on us. So who's gonna
That's right.
Who gonna carry this baton?
That's right.
There you go.
Jay, okay.
I think a lot of our hope for the future is in the parents
Yes.
of children today. The parents are the first teachers. They're
That's
the
right.
child's first teacher and the child's most important teacher.
Yes.
Because if they finish high school, or if they finish college or whatever, the parents are going to be there. And the knowledge that they pass on to their kids is what's really going to give them an anchor.
Yes.
So getting back to the Rainbow, all of the information, all of the Black History questions and answers are on the school district website, so that the children and their parents have the same information. Hopefully those parents, and if you're hearing this for the first time, find out who is working with the Rainbow at your school. Get the information off the school district website. Go over the questions and the answers with your children. Learn right along with them.
That's the key.
And Bishop, you'll be happy to hear this. Now, while this year's Rainbow is virtual, Middleton High School will host it.
And I wonder why, but anyway.
Next year, we'll be on the campus of Howard W. Blake High School.
Come on now.
And hopefully we won't do it virtually. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll be able to embrace each other and communicate and hug each other. We haven't been able to do that in a long time. But Rainbow will be next year, probably be in March at Blake High School. So we are going to rotate it between Middleton and Blake.
And why March and not February? Since
Well, Hapsy did that, I think, on purpose. Because, now it's February. It's okay to be black in February and talk about, black history. So we can be black in February. I'm so glad they have been doing this in March. Because now we have January, Martin Luther King birthday and the celebration. We have all of February to be black, Black History Month. And we also have an event in March, and we don't know what we're going to do in April, May, June. But
step up our game.
So we have 3 months to focus on learning African and African American history. And a lot of this history that the students are going to be learning is local. You know, we have several schools named for African Americans.
Yes.
And we need to know, there were a lot of students at Armwood High School didn't even know she was a black woman.
Like
You know.
right. And we even go back to Blake and
that's the first
Middleton
one.
when they went away.
Elementary.
When two high school,
Yes.
they went away.
Yeah.
And black folks fought. You're one of them, the late Mr. Randolph Kinsey, and fought, and some other folks, and got them back resurrected. And if we don't stay on top of our history, it would be gone again. Because everybody keeps saying they iron Blake High School to put, demolish it and put some more townhomes and all this down there. So we got to be about our business. People often say the Jewish Holocaust didn't happen here, but we know about it, and they don't let us forget it. So why do we have to say, oh, y'all just talk about that? I was like, just leave it alone. Slavery was so long time ago. Why is y'all still going on?
We had unity and we had a strategy.
Hey,
We had a
come on.
strategy. That was the difference.
Yeah.
Randolph Kinsey was my line brother, Omega Psi Phi fraternity. One of the smartest men I ever knew in my lifetime. And the Blake High School alumni had a strategy. And one of the things I remember that they did, and I know show is moving on now, there are 7 school board members. And the committee, and you were part of that, and you probably remember this, I think there was somebody assigned to every school board member to talk with them, to bring them up to speed, to let them know what the Blake alumni wanted. So that when a proposal went before the school board, they were already informed. They weren't hearing about things for the first time. And something Randolph always used to say, he said, you have to work within the system.
Yes.
You're not going to change the system
Yeah.
throwing rocks.
Outside.
Now, there is a time when throwing rocks may be necessary.
Right.
But if that's your whole strategy, you're not going
You're not
very far
going.
with that. So when you work inside the system and you also get people to rise up and make sure that they're making a difference on their block, just start on your block, you can get things done.
But you know,
sir.
Fred, the difference between then and now, the board members was receptive.
Yeah.
They didn't get up there after we elected them and they know everything and you can't tell them anything and they don't return phone. These people was receptive. They came out, they wanted to hear, they talked to you, and it was okay to tell them, hey, we need this. These young folks now, and I'm not bashing young people, but they seem not to have, they call them the millennials, that they want to be, they don't need old folks. They don't want to hear from old people. Old people, we need to lay down and die.
No.
Not understanding the history. Not understanding where we come from and what we came and that we can help them along. They wanted, because I heard when a young lady was running for county commission, she just was against old people. And I'm like, well, we the vote, we the super voters. The old people voted, that's why she didn't win the election, because she was counting on the young people. But it's the old folks who are the super voters who's going to get out there. And exactly, Jay said, wealth of knowledge. So once they understand that, maybe we can move forward.
And not to mention the young people, the millennials, they're great at technology. Older people, the technology wasn't around, but here's what they're missing. Our elders not only can teach us what to do, but more importantly, they can teach us what not to do. And knowing what not to do is equally, if not more important than what to do. So that's why you have to listen to your elders that who have your best interests.
Your best interest. I like that. The phone number here, folks, you got time to get a few more calls in. 813-251-9867. We have Michael Randolph, who's promoting on tomorrow at 7:30 on Zoom to try to stop the killing and the violence. He's going to the OGs, the young. Hey, we're going to the street. We're taking it to the street. We have Fred Hearn, who's a black historian, trying to get us back involved in who we are so we can understand we're killing ourselves because of self-hatred that other folks have taught us to hate one another, and we should not be allowing that to go on. So people, we got to get involved. Now, Fred, they talk about economic development. I grew up in a household right in Hyde Park. There were 7 of us and was only 2 bedrooms. Okay, the people on the block, my mom a nurse, somebody else, and the dad was a shrimper. Somebody else knew how to do this and that. Nobody went hungry on the block. Nobody, if you was in need of this here, people was there. We don't see that anymore. We've gotten away from that. So we knew how to make it. Everybody could eat out that one pot. I remember when we had the TV, everybody was on our front porch looking at the black and white TV. We did those kind of things, but now it's you, I, me. We're going to take the caller. Good morning, caller. You say what's really happening.
Yeah. Good morning. This is Kimberly Jackson. How are you?
Good morning, Kimberly.
Hey, Kim.
Glad you listened.
Good morning. I just wanted to call and thank Mr. Hearns for all of his work that he's been doing with the district, and just really appreciate, as you mentioned, I did call last week, and I continue to ask about the curriculum to make sure that our children do understand their history and that we didn't just arrive in this country by choice, that we came from somewhere where we were really, really amazing, and to be able to pass down that information to our kids. So I just wanted to physically call and say thank you for all the hard work, and let's continue to hold the district to what they are saying that they're going to do, especially in regards to that curriculum, so that that history doesn't get lost in the fray of all of the initiatives.
And Kimberly, we thank you for your energy. You're calling all the way from Philadelphia. She was forced out, but she didn't leave us. And we thank God for you and staying on top of it. And I know Fred, I'm gonna speak for you right quick. Anything she can help you with, add to help keep this going, it is welcome. That's the thing. We need people like you, Kimberly, young people, millennials to get involved. And you're one of those ones that has embraced us older folks. So we say thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
And stay warm, dear. Stay warm.
I'm doing my best. It is really cold here.
And pull for the Bucks. Pull for the Bucks tomorrow.
Send some sunshine my way.
We will. God bless you. Thank you so much. Stay safe, baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'll call you. Say what's really happening.
Yes, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Dale Green here. How you doing?
Hey, Dale Green. We bless and we appreciate you. This is one of those we get out a lot of information from. Go ahead, Dale.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to put an idea in Fred's mind about trying to have a Zoom call regarding how to resolve conflicts without violence. Hold on 1 second. Give me 2 coffees, senior coffees black, 2 sugars each. Yes, ma'am.
That's a drive-in, not a drive-through.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say. How to resolve conflicts without violence.
Thank you so much. And that's what Michael Randolph is talking about on tomorrow at 7:30. We want y'all to have on your Zoom as you look at the Bucks. And we can multitask. That's one thing. The master taught us how to multitask. We can do that. And so Michael, once again, give out a number where they can reach you, how we can go on Zoom, and we appreciate you being involved, and we're glad you wasn't hit with that stray bullet, but somebody else was, and we can pray for that family, and my God, we just lost word. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, so first I'm going to give a shout out to Fred. How you doing, Fred?
All right, Michael, good to hear you this morning.
The number is 813-857-7657. Now, here's what's important. In Baltimore, a young person lost their father's life to violence. We're working with this 19-year-old who's black to be the first 19-year-old to lead a national organization to deal with Stop the Killers. We're going to groom her. We're going to give her all the tools necessary to attract Generation G. And we're going to duplicate this all over the country.
Thank you so much, Michael. We got like 4 minutes, and I want to thank those of you that have sown seeds into this program. We're here another month because of you, and we had a little trouble with our Cash App. It's the $ Michelle B. Patty, Patty. We appreciate the seeds that are being sown to keep this program going, and you old school like me, it's P.O. Box 4624, Tampa, Florida 33677. Once again, that's Michelle B. Patty at 813-495-3702 if you need to call me. We appreciate you sowing a seed. Fred, once again, give out a number, how they can get involved, and we're going to go because she's counting me down.
Okay, Bishop, and thank you for having us on. The number for HAPSI, the Hillsborough Alliance of Black School Educators, And black teachers, you need to join this organization. They really love your support. 813-586-0005. 813-586-0005. And thank you so much.
Thank you all. Jay gonna have the last word, and we're gonna get out of the way for our very own, my senator, Darrell Rousseau, who's coming up behind me. We say thank y'all for listening. Go Bucks.
I'd like to say from these airways, Bishop, thank you for putting the spotlight on the cemeteries that was covered up in the community, and now we found out that it's all over the state. So I'd like to give kudos to everybody making effort to unearth the graves of our ancestors that's been forgotten, like you say, consistently trying to cover up our history, and that's one big part of it. If you just wipe away the deceased, then you really don't have nowhere where to go at. So I'd like to thank what's really happening for being instrumental in keeping that up. So now when I turn on the news, I see it happening everywhere. They're unearthing more graves of black people, and that's what we need. So thank you for keeping that out front.
And Fred, we need to get back on what the school board, we haven't dealt with the King High School. Those, you know, that went dormant.
So let's not forget about that,
yeah,
though. So
thank
that's
you
still in
much,
my heart. And Mike, I'd like to say thank you for being a fellow joiner out there trying to stop this senseless. To me, it's a human rights issue to me, because our safety and security is at risk. So I appreciate what you're doing on the forefront, Mr. Hearn. Thank you as well. And do something today your future self will thank you for. There's no failure in progress. So if we continue to move forward, we can make a change. And have patience.
And guess what? We're going to make that change. God bless you all.
That's what's really happening.